Saturday morning, and we're on our way over to the Kodachrome Basin. Okay, we pulled over at our lookout, scenic overlook, and I think that's Bryce Canyon over there off in the distance. Wow, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. This is a scenic byway, so I'm expecting a lot of this type of scenery all along this route here. Okay, this is our scenic drive on our way down to Kodachrome Basin.
So many years ago, when the Mormons first got to Utah, there was a settlement that was made just south of Bryce, but there was very little water. So a group of families decided they're going to dig a ditch. And they did, from their settlement all the way up to Bryce, to get the water to run down to where their crops were. And well, that ditch is still here, and the water is still running. There's a waterfall way over there, and it just comes down, and we'll eventually get to it, and we'll try to get right underneath it by following this creek. Okay, from one of the viewpoints, there's the waterfall, and I think I read the sign back there was like 1802 or something like that, when the pioneers used primitive tools to build this canal. So we arrived at Mossy Cave. In the winter, it forms ice sheets. Oh yeah, you can see all the water just dripping off of it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it just creates its own little stream.
Seems like during the summer and spring is the only time that there's actually water coming out of this cave. The rest of the time it's dry. I mean, it's a steep spring, so it comes lightly, but it doesn't. This is the only time you see it flowing and dripping like this.
Got that area of windows up there. Some hoodoos with some windows. Pretty interesting formation. Here we are standing right above this 75-foot waterfall. There's just a lot of water coming through this thing. You can see where the water just, where the little canal goes right through there. It just keeps coming down, winding its way through this little canyon. Right through there. And the views are really beautiful here too. Some hoodoos that are just in the beginning stages, some that are already fully formed.
We just arrived at the Kodachrome Basin, and we're going down to do our first hike to a place called Shakespeare Arch. It's really very colorful and pretty in here. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of scenery we're going to encounter today. We are well into our hike now, out here on the Shakespeare and Sentinel Arch Trail. And I mean, there's just all this vast plateau in front of us. And you can just see, oh my goodness, for miles and miles. This is really amazing down here in this basin. Just going to kind of pan. We're out at a point where they said, yeah, this is a photo spot. Try to give you here on the video a little bit of an idea. It just goes all around us. We're just in this big old basin. Very, very pretty.
So we made it to the place where the arch is at, Shakespeare's Arch. This is what it looks like around us. I don't know if you would call these hoodoos or just slick rock that's being eroded. That's the view down into the valley below all of those mesas. Over here you can see a better view of this arch.
Okay, I am now standing under Shakespeare Arch. And this is kind of what it looks like at the very bottom of it. Really pretty interesting. It didn't take very long to get here either, which is kind of cool. But this is Shakespeare Arch.
Okay, so we made it to the Sentinel now. It's that pipe right there. This happened is that there were like underground springs coming up through the underground, or when this all used to be an ocean, right? So from the ocean floor, these things rose, and just a tower of calcium deposits. And through the years, it was just covered with layers and layers of mud. So the mud is eroding, and the calcium tower remains. It's called the Sentinel. There's like a little canyon that goes through here, a little crevasse. It's the view back where we came from. Thing is really, really tall. I don't know, say 150 feet, somewhere around there.
Alrighty, we made it back into this little alcove here. And I think we encountered finally the second thing we came to hike to see here. I think that's the Sentinel. And wow, yeah, pretty neat, very tall. And here's our path. We're going to take it around, walk up this hill a little ways, which is a pretty steep hill. And once you pop back up out of that alcove, we're back to seeing the views of the plateaus and the mesas all around us.
found a wonderful viewing spot from where to get a complete vista of this whole canyon. It's very windy up here, so when we get around, you'll probably get a lot of buffeting, unless we decide to cover this with music.
We came up upon this twisted juniper tree. It's amazing. It is actually growing out of the ground and it's still alive. It's just mangled and twisted up, but that's kind of how juniper trees grow. And then behind it is the Sentinel. You can see it kind of poking up over there. But now we're getting to the other side of this alcove where you can see all the pits and holes where the stone is eroding away.
Alright, so now we're making it down this little trail. Just a view down the hill. Pretty awesome little trail. The views are phenomenal of the whole valley below. Wow. Well, anyway, we'll record a little bit about this trail and then see what's around the bend. Yeah, the little trail gets kind of narrow, and that cat that we saw up to those tracks are right here, so I guess he was just following this little trail as well. So it's pretty awesome. Yep, there's our little trail. There's a field goal right there.
We came around this bend, saw this crow sitting out there. I guess he was the security guard. There's a bunch of crows sitting up there, but there's this big alcove area. Right there in the back on the other side is a Sentinel. And over here, this is what's on the other side. It's really pretty interesting. Okay, when they said this was more challenging, they were not kidding. Holy cow. Well, we're going to be climbing, literally climbing up Slick Rock. Off we go.
So we decided to go back a different route. This is a bypass through the Slick Rock. I think it was the right decision. The normal trail would be done there, nice and easy, on flat ground. But no! Oh, we decided to take this route. She's saying that I decided. Oh, look how beautiful it is up here. Oh, the trail seems to be pretty well marked, so we shouldn't have too much trouble following it. Okay, so we ended up right above the Sentinel. It's right there. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so we're at the top here. Very windy, that's for sure. The view is awesome. I just can't even explain it. Down lower is like standing in a museum looking at a mural that somebody painted on the wall. It's just gorgeous. It almost looks fake. Okay, so we're finally descending the top of the hill down this little switchbacks till we get to the very bottom. And this will be the end of our first hike to Shakespeare Arch, and we'll see where the next one will take us. Okay, we're at Chimney Rock. Lori's sitting there at the very bottom of it. Okay, we're on the second hike. What was this called? Angel Landing Trailhead? Angels. Okay, we're on the second hike. Angel Palace hike. It's pretty interesting. Okay, it's got a very unique view. Very distinct, and it's different than the one we were at before, where these rocks are mostly rounded. The spires look a little bit different, but the surrounding mesas they'll have like layers of different colors in them.
So we're walking down the trail, and Chico looked up and he said, wow, look at the fins on that mesa up there. They look pretty wild. So far, we're just starting the hike. It's okay. Okay, we just came around a bend, and we're much closer to these mesas and the Basin Canyon walls than we were earlier on our other hike. Really pretty in here.
walked on out here on this little cliff, this little path, all the way to the top there, or to the tip. How was it up there? Wow, it is pretty. It's just, the views from up here are so great. Wow.
They said Utah is life elevated. They were not kidding. Okay, we're at another viewpoint area. All along the trail they have these little spokes that come out, and they're viewpoints that you can just see different areas of the park that you really can't necessarily access by foot. There are these little narrow pathways that go out there, and then you can just kind of stand on the edge and look down and just check it out. All the scenery in a different place. It's so pretty.
Okay, we started our hike onto the Grand Parade Trail. This is just a couple of steps into the trail. Lori's way up there already. She doesn't wait for me anymore, because when she does, her feet hurt, so she's got to keep walking. Nice little needle thing at the very top of the canyon. And we're way down here. We're nearing the end of the canyon. There's one more of those tubes. Now we're walking alongside this sheer massive faces of nothing but sandstone. They're awesome looking. Go all the way to the top there. Wow. Okay, this canyon is really beginning to narrow. Not much room here.
Dust.
Ooh,
Maybe
dust.
Oh, we're gonna get sandblasted.
Lots of dust.
It's hitting
Lots
me.
of sand.
I can feel it.
Wow. That's nasty.
Okay. Doesn't go too much farther.
I guess we got to the end of the road. Give you $5 if you climb up there. Guess not. Starting our entrance to the second box canyon. I think we were here, but up high the first time on our first hike for Angel's Palace. So we'll see what this one looks like. Okay, so we're getting further into this box canyon. And things are looking really interesting. Because that's the way to go. Yeah, I heard you say wow.
Yeah. Just come in and look straight up.
Oh. There to the blue sky. What's beyond here, babe?
Nothing. It looks like it's cracking a little bit,
Yeah.
but you can't see through it. Probably just goes solid.
Okay. Alright, so we made the bend, and now we find ourselves walking into a canyon. It's like a little box canyon or some sort. But we'll travel in there, see what we can find.
I'm looking for the moon, but I don't see it. I'm out in the day.
Okay, so we entered the box canyon. There's the entrance. And we're going to walk till the end of it. Then we'll have to come back. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah, it's got a little spire way at the very tip. Ooh. So we're in this like a bowl inside of this box canyon. There's an echo. Yeah. Goes down that way a little bit longer, and then I'm guessing it will end.
it comes. Here comes the light. It's coming through the darkest night. I wanna dance with you. I wanna dance. Oh.
Okay, we are in Dixie National Forest, but this is Red Canyon. And the sun is starting to go down. So there's a lot of little hoodoos that are starting to get really nice and beautiful and red. I'm going to drive up and try to get some photos of this red rocks in Red Canyon.
Rocks are all around, and in the night I hear their sound. I wanna dance so true until I dance all through. Into the light. A dream. The red rocks were spinning round, and I was dancing to their mystery. So true until I dance all through.
Okay, it's Sunday morning and we're getting ready to leave the Bryce area. Just wanted to shoot some quick video of what our hotel looked like. It looks sort of like a little old western town, and each of the buildings have a different name attached to them. And it goes all the way down here. Like I said, it's sort of made up to look like a little western village. It was a nice place. I have a feeling it was refurbished and just newly opened again. But we had a great view. You can't really see it from here, but we could see the red cliffs, and then if you look out across the street from us, it's just a really nice meadow. And Chico just checked out of the hotel, and we're getting ready to head to St. George.